Today, I want to teach you that writers don't include everything they know how to do just because they like it. Instead, they pick and choose what to use and what not to use so that the story does not get bogged down in extra words, tricks, or craft moves. Writers focus on the words and actions that really matter. I know that you have all learned so much over the years about writing. I often experience a temptation to include everything I know how to do every time I write. Look, I can use onomatopoeia, I want to say. Check out my fancy foreshadowing. Or have you seen all my multi-syllable adverbs and adjectives? And it definitely feels good to know all of these tricks and moves as a writer and be able to do them. I often think it's a good idea to do them when drafting, just to get them out there. But then in revision, sort through what you've done and take out anything that might be overdone, that might distract from the writing or bog it down. Let's look at an excerpt from a piece that I wrote when I was experimenting with fiction writing a while ago. As I read through this, look to see if you can identify some of the fancy moves I was making, and also what effect you think they have on the piece. Might it be too much in some places, just right in others? I strolled slowly out onto the giant green grass soccer field, feeling my cleats dig into the soft mud. It was like I was walking in pudding. I felt my heart hammer quickly in my chest like 1,000 woodpeckers all trying to eat the bugs out of the same tree at the same time. Out of the corner of my chocolate brown eye, I saw Sam doing something with the soccer ball. I couldn't tell if he was just feeling the stitches or rubbing something on it. Oh well, I pondered to myself as I speedily jogged down the field, getting ready to take my position. I'm sure it is nothing to worry about. Instead, I should worry about this championship game. So, writers, sometimes looking back at our old writing can be exciting and make us feel proud because we see what great work we've done. Sometimes looking back at our old writing can be exciting and sort of embarrassing because we can see how far we've come as writers. Let's just take a quick look at the good things I was trying to do here. Let's see. I see that I'm trying to describe a lot by using adjectives and adverbs like slowly and giant green. I was also trying to use metaphors and similes to describe, as well as the chocolate brown eye and the 1,000 woodpeckers. There's a little try at foreshadowing with the other kid Sam and the ball. And yes, I can see that I was trying to use dialogue by having the main character talk to himself. But I can also see that the dialogue is problematic because it's not realistic. No one really talks like that, and they definitely don't talk like that to themselves. And it feels like it almost gives too much information. It might even be called like soap opera dialogue. And when I used this word pondered, it sort of feels like I was just trying to use big words just to use them. It just sort of stands out, like it doesn't sound like the rest of the text. So, if I could go back to my past writing self, I wouldn't want to say, ew, that was terrible writing. Instead, I would want to try to understand what I was trying to do and clear it up, make it stronger. Just like when it comes to ice cream with writing, sometimes less is more. For example, instead of using lots of adjectives and adverbs, I can use strong nouns and verbs. Instead of using dialogue to explain what's going on with a character, I can use thoughts and actions. I can replace some of my overdone writing moves with clear, solid writing. Let me try that with just the first sentence. I strolled slowly out of the giant green grass soccer field, feeling my cleats dig into the soft mud. If I cut the adjectives and adverbs I don't need and then replace them with strong nouns and verbs, I think I can make this writing better. How's this? I trudged onto the soccer field, my cleats sinking into the muck. I like that much better. Do you see how it still says the same thing, but I got rid of the things I didn't need, like the description of the soccer field, because most people know what soccer fields typically look like. And I strengthened up my verbs, which make it so I didn't need to have all those adjectives and adverbs weighing everything down. Now, here's something tricky. I actually like the next two similes, the pudding one and the woodpecker one. But the two of them back to back really does feel like too much. Back to that giant ice cream bowl. The reader really can't linger on either one because they're both there back to back. So I need to do what many famous writers have said to do in the past. I need to kill my darlings, meaning I need to get rid of something I really love, even though I love it, because it's not making the writing better. So, to decide which one to cut, I'm going to look at the meaning. Which one is more significant in the story? How hard it was to walk on the soccer field isn't really that important. How nervous the narrator is because of the big game feels important. So the pudding goes and the woodpecker stays. Now it's your turn. I want you to help me with the rest of the section. I want you to look for places where I can kill my darlings and tighten my writing. Focus on these next two sentences and see how you can revise them. Pause the video as you read through these next sentences and take some notes in your writing notebook for the changes that you might make. Writers, you may have been thinking that we don't need to say chocolate brown eyes. It really doesn't have an impact on the story. So let's cross off chocolate brown. And instead, the sentence will read, out of the corner of my eye, I saw Sam doing something with a soccer ball. Let's read this with our two revisions. I trudged onto the soccer field, my cleats sinking into the muck. I felt my heart hammer quickly in my chest like 1,000 woodpeckers all trying to eat the bugs out of the same tree at the same time. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Sam do something with the soccer ball. Writers, do you see how we reread our writing and decided what was most important, what really made the story stick? You can do the same thing in your writing. Go back to the lesson platform for your next activity.